DLC. Oh, dude, so good.
Great.
So excited.
Welcome to the Fine Film Podcast. I'm your host, St. George Stefano Sinese. Welcome back.
Thank you, Sean. Good to be back.
Today is a very special day. It's DC Day. It's DC Fandome, baby.
It's the greatest day of the year. We were
It's
looking
better
forward
than
to
your
this.
birthday. It's better than my birthday. It's DC Day, baby.
Man, we were looking forward to this for what, 12 months?
It's been a while.
It has been a long while.
We were promised the Batman film.
Yep.
It got delayed.
Yes.
Now we
Thanks
have
a lot,
DC Fandome, and they promised us a new trailer for the Batman.
It delivered.
And it delivered. I think we could, just jump into it and watch the trailer and
Man,
see what we think again.
put it on right now.
So we'll put it on. We'll check it out. If you haven't seen it already, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Watch it.
Turn off this podcast right now. Go watch it. Then please come back to the
Watch
podcast.
it with us as we watch it on this podcast. But here it is. So Matt Reeves, The Batman, coming out March 4th.
Go full screen. Excellent.
Riddler is just waiting there.
Police! Hands up!
All day now.
He's got
Creepy as always. No offense.
Stay still! Get out of here!
question mark.
Fear is a tool. But when that light hits the sky,
Oh, great.
it's not just a call. It's a warning.
Fantastic. Oh, taser!
Fucking taste.
That's so cool. That's a nod to the Arkham games there.
There's so much showing Dano's face.
Fire the gun!
This is a powder keg, and Ritter's the match.
Selena.
I can take care of myself.
She looks amazing.
If this continues, it won't be long before you've nothing left.
Alfred.
The sun is.
I love
don't
the
care what happens to
gorgeous
me.
sunnies.
It's only gonna get worse for you.
Whoa! Take it easy, sweetheart. Hear everything they say, ain't you?
Maybe we're not so different. Who are you under there?
I'm vengeance.
Yes.
Black and blue and dead all over. You take cover.
I got you! I got you!
Oh, the score is good.
He's a fucking. He's so scary.
He's intimidating, dude. Wow. God, I'm excited. Oh,
Amazing.
man.
Jesus. Twilight. No, we don't want that. Dude.
All right, dude. First off, what did you think of the trailer? Lay it on me.
It's great.
Yep.
It's so good. It's like I felt like they still use quite a bit of the original trailer. Like there's
They
still
did.
a lot of like the scenes we've already seen.
I have
So-
no issue with that.
Which is fine.
I don't want to be
because-
given much at all.
Exactly. And it's not giving us too much, right? But
Correct.
it's enough to tell us a little bit more, right? I feel like it still doesn't really add to like, they didn't really add more to reveal more of the story. I
No.
feel like. Not really. Maybe
Okay.
bits and pieces.
So, from your initial thought, right? So,
Yeah.
what you saw today, what do you think's going to happen? What's your brief? What's your sort of an insight?
All right. The Riddler,
Yeah,
Dano's character, he's a very like Zodiac like
very much so.
villain, right?
The whole thing has Fincher vibes written all over it,
100%.
and I'm loving that.
Yeah, the Zodiac. He's the Zodiac. He's got the glasses as well, so I think even the look is based off of the Zodiac.
Yeah.
like killer, and even like those little like the videos on the news. It's like serial killer and this and that, but it's
For
leaving
sure.
these cards. So I think that's a whole part of it, right? I don't know how him and the Penguin. I don't know where they connect. What do you think?
Okay.
How does the Penguin connect? Does he connect to the Riddler at all, or is that separate? Do you think?
Is the Penguin just a puppet? I mean, for those of you who know the Batman lore, the Riddler is a completely underrated DC villain. Certainly a part of Batman's Rogues Gallery.
So much potential.
And I'm so excited about this film because the last time we saw it was Jim Carrey's adaptation, which again was still great.
Loved it as a kid.
We all loved it as a kid, but the film didn't age well for various reasons.
Sure.
This is really exciting, and Paul Dano, tremendous actor, young, and I think the whole cast here, outside of say Farrell and Serkis, are all rather young.
Sure.
And sort of just stamped this, they're the next wave of big actors in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I think the Penguin will play a bit part role in the film as more of a side villain to show off again the dirty underbelly of Gotham City.
True.
But he might be a tool of the Penguin. Sorry, of the Riddlers. That's what I sort of got from that.
Do you reckon they're working together at some?
I think so, or at least they both might. The Penguin might think he is correct.
Might be using him in some way or something.
I think so. Well, the first scene is the Riddler being captured.
Yeah.
Obviously, as an agenda. Obviously, he intended to get captured.
See, that was all right. Let's break that down. Okay. That was interesting.
It was. I was surprised.
It's interesting that he's already in jail, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, it obviously seems like he's still playing games from prison, right?
Definitely. Well, here's a question. So the first trailer that we saw last year, he's taped his face up and he's taping up that some government official potentially.
Sure.
Now he's been captured.
Sure.
Do we think that perhaps that capturing scene happens perhaps halfway through the film?
Maybe. So
he's committed a few crimes.
Sure.
The fact that he's taped his face, and then shown his face, maybe he's got some sort of disfigurement.
Because they still haven't showed his face even in the trailer.
They haven't.
There has to be a reason, right?
Correct. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. I mean, first scene, super exciting. Gotham police, even just the whole sort of cinematography of that scene, corner cafe, blue lights. It's painted the beginnings of what is our understanding of the new Gotham City.
Sure.
And that's really exciting.
Fincher vibes, definitely.
Absolutely, man. Seven. It's like Seven and Zodiac sort of having a baby.
And Batman.
And Batman.
I love that it's the 90s as well.
Is that confirmed?
I think it is, yeah. I think it is. It's set in the 90s.
Good.
And
well, he's nice little sunnies there as well.
The sunnies,
God, he looks good.
Because there's I don't know if maybe we can skip through it again, but I don't think I've noticed any like technology really, like mobile phones.
There was no iPhone looming.
Not like that, yeah.
Although on the screen it did say streaming now live. I don't know, streaming perhaps. That's some sort of call to modern times, but
maybe
not too sure.
The 90s, yeah.
Potentially. I mean, in saying that, it probably would make, given that it's Batman's second year, which we know, it would certainly be years and years apart from where he is now, I would think. Because, when the next film comes out, which hopefully is less than years and years away, it'll be set in the modern time. So, not sure, but, that was really exciting.
So good.
Okay, straight after that, we hear Batman's voice. We see the bat signal in the sky. Again, all very exciting.
It's a warning.
It's a warning.
It's a warning.
That's the most menacing take on the symbol.
It's not meant to be a symbol of hope, right? It's meant to be a warning.
It is. It's meant to scare criminals. Yeah, and that's always been the part. It's both a call to Batman and for everyone else to. You think you back to the Dark Knight. What's that first couple of scenes? Not tonight.
Oh, not tonight. He's out. Yeah, the bat's out.
Oh God.
I know.
For me, second scene, so we've seen the light. That's exciting. We hear Batman's voice, which I'm loving as well.
Yeah.
And we're then given that what is essentially blown up example of the initial fight scenes. The first trailer we saw, he beat the pus out of that dude.
Sure.
We've now seen what is essentially the elongation of that scene.
Yeah.
We saw the taser.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So what's up with that? Does he have a taser on himself?
For those who have played the Arkham City games, the Arkham games, that's a big feature in that game. So I'm loving that slight callback there from Matt Reeves. Absolutely loved it.
Good one, Matty.
But what we've seen already in that in the first trailer, this is a very brutal and violent Batman.
This is what I wanted to say. It's there's more essences of this being like a horror film.
Yeah.
And that's what they describe it as, right?
Yeah.
Like, and
Noir horror film.
like he's really like a a scary figure that's coming after you.
He definitely is. And I mean, we can tuck into this for quite a while. He seems unhinged, and you're seeing sort of these themes of psychological distress and mental health, arguably, sort of being passed through. That you have a Batman character and a Bruce Wayne who we all sort of know as the sexy billionaire playboy. You think Christian Bale, two ladies, the suit, the chopper.
Yeah, buys
this
the hotel.
guy has just lost himself in his mission. He's still very young.
Yeah.
He has resources. He has means. He has ambition. But clearly he's bitter and angry.
Sure. It's funny, when they introduced this trailer today at DC Fandome, so they had Matt Reeves come out, or they were doing like an online kind of thing, and it was Matt Reeves, it was Zoe Kravitz, and Robert Pattinson, and they were talking about the movie and the characters and what it was like to shoot and stuff like that. It wasn't a long like snippet or whatever, but Pattinson talks about the difference, or like because it is early days, right? And it's like he talks about him putting on that bat suit every night to go out there. He's still figuring out who he is as Batman because he still doesn't know. And it's almost like hypnotic, right? When he puts on this suit every night, it goes out there and fucking goes mental. He's still not differentiating, who he becomes as Batman when he puts on the cowl, as opposed to who he is as Bruce Wayne, right? Because, like you mentioned, this is no Christian Bale Bruce Wayne.
No, and that's a great point. I love that because Batman needs Bruce Wayne as much as Bruce Wayne needs Batman.
True.
Bruce Wayne keeps Batman human. And
Bruce Wayne is the mask that Batman wears.
Exactly right.
Because who he really is Batman.
Correct. And that's an interesting point because, say, in the Dark Knight films, his sense of humanity and morality comes, in my mind, from Bruce Wayne's morals and understandings, right? In this film, that line is warped.
True.
Where Bruce Wayne is angry and confused and aggressive. And then you essentially weaponize that with the cowl and the car and the gadgets. Yeah. And suddenly you have one of the most dangerous person in the city. It isn't the Riddler, it's the Batman. And I think one of the themes we're going to see explored in this film is just that the biggest villain in the film is actually Batman.
Himself.
He needs to beat himself.
Yeah.
Which is an awesome dynamic.
True.
And I love that take on it all. Yeah. To that violence point.
Yeah.
There's a particular scene, and we'll segue into the Catwoman chat very shortly, whereas Catwoman, played by Zoe Kravitz, who looks amazing, looks at him when he's pounding some dude to what is like a bloody pulp with a look of fear and horror.
Yeah. Like,
now,
this guy's fucked.
I'm sure she's obviously kicked a few heads in herself.
True.
But that was, I felt even a little unnerved by that. Like, this guy seems really, really off the rails.
Sure.
And
she's almost thinking like, who am I? Like, who am I with right now?
Exactly,
this guy's insane.
This guy's
What's
crazy.
The difference between him and this fucking Riddler character?
Well, that was always the point. It's if he crosses that line, is he any different?
No different. Yeah,
exactly right. And while I don't think he might, I suspect there might be a situation in the film where he'll have the chance to cross the line, and really cross it.
True. And
I suspect he won't. And that's the premise.
Let's not make the mistake of Batman vs Superman, which we'll touch on later.
Oh, don't worry,
of Bruce Wayne and Batman killing people. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that. Okay. It's interesting. Zoe also mentioned this little snippet when they were introducing it, saying that bond that they share in this film, and like Selena Kyle, she's also someone who's fighting for the people right now. For people that don't have anybody, right? In this Gotham, right?
Yep.
And they bond over that, because he's also kind of doing that in the same way. But it's interesting that look, I think she's trying to figure him out, and he's trying to figure her out as well.
Well, the irony, you see all the previous adaptations of Batman and Catwoman, the relationship dynamic. To that point, you're right. They're both driving forces of looking out for the little guy.
True.
But it was always Catwoman looking to take it too far, and Batman trying to pull her back. Whereas this time, it
feels like it's reversed.
The reverse. Batman's gone too far, and Catwoman is perhaps keeping him human.
True.
I mean, in that brief couple of scenes, their chemistry looks fantastic. And again, I love seeing a tall Batman. For me,
great.
Tall Batman is how it should be. Yep. He looks 10 feet tall in that costume, which I'm absolutely loving.
Describe his voice to me, because I'm still trying to figure out what
Vengeance.
approach he's taken here.
I don't know. I mean, okay, so in the scenes that I can think of, is he Batman or Bruce Wayne when he's talking about the warning? Do you think that's Batman or do you think that's Bruce Wayne?
Who is he talking to? Is he talking to Selena Kyle? And is he not putting the voice? I guess he's putting on the voice for everyone except for Alfred, right?
Correct. I mean, the voice that he put on when he banged on that glass and that was horrifying.
And that's just his anger.
That was his rage coming out of it.
Rage.
It appears that he is obviously masking it with some sort of voice. I think it's not too alien from the Christian Bale.
I don't think it's quite Christian Bale, but I don't think it's too far away from it either.
No, it's not.
And it's no Ben Affleck voice.
Well, Ben Affleck had the modifier.
Exactly.
Which, again, I personally loved.
Yeah.
It was deep and baritone. I loved it. I think it's got a lot of Christian Bale vibe, but it made the most sense.
It does, yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you heard my voice and I was in a cowl,
Stefano,
you know it was me, so you have to mask it somehow.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so what else is there? So obviously we saw a fair few scenes of Colin Farrell's Penguin. Not that you would ever know that it's Colin Farrell.
Well, from the first trailer, I remember it was like, it took a couple of days, I think, or maybe like, a whole day probably, where people were like, wait a minute.
Is that
Colin?
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks, first of all, he looks unrecognizable. It looks great.
Great.
I love the look. It is Penguin vibes, but he's not Danny DeVito.
No.
He's not quite Danny DeVito, right?
No, he's not.
Which is not something I want to see anyway, like right now.
Look, I love that movie, and it had its time in the sun.
This is more grounded.
The Penguin's a mobster. Yeah. He almost had that, even with the gold chains, he almost had that sort of very European vibe. Sort of mob
they're portraying
boss.
him very, Italian mobster.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
And
he's not meant to be of like American, like Italian American descent. Is he? Cobblepot?
I don't believe so. Look, for me, you could sort of segment the villains in these categories. We have the Riddler, obviously, who's this dark and luminous character who seems to have his hands in everything. And is putting, sending Batman on this detective crusade, which again is going to be one of the key focal points of the film. And Matt Reeves keeps saying it. This is a detective film first and foremost. Catwoman, who plays that sort of, anti-hero. I'm looking out for the little people, but by precarious means.
True.
Then you have the Penguin, who I think is building his way up in Gotham. We see him at the nightclub, and when Batman is then just causing havoc.
True. And the crime. Yeah. Well. What's his name?
And the mob as well.
The mob, because Falcone. No, it's not.
Yeah, Falcone.
Is it Falcone?
Turturro's playing it.
Yeah. So he's a part of this.
He's a part of this.
Yeah. So maybe I think, Cobblepot, Penguin's involved with that family.
With the mob. Well, I'm not sure how much you know about this, but in the law, Selena Kyle is often referenced as the illegitimate daughter of Carmine Falcone.
No shit.
Yeah.
She's seen at that funeral scene, I think, behind the scenes or whatever. I don't know if it was in the trailer, but she's standing with him.
Correct. So
that's her involvement.
They obviously have some sort of relationship.
True.
The relationship with the mob might relate to the Penguin.
Yeah.
The Penguin could be a puppet of the Riddler. And Batman sort of sits in the middle of this melting pot, and he's sort of just involved.
Well, let's get back to the Riddler for a second. I think that there is a chance that he's also doing this and playing this game with the Batman and with Gotham in general on his own.
Potentially,
he might not even be using the Penguin or anyone else. That this is just his thing, because the first trailer, it ends on "you're a part of this," and I don't know if that's a part of Riddler saying and why Batman or Bruce Wayne is angry, because there's even that scene when it's it's in this new trailer when the graffiti's on the wall and stuff like that, and it says "sins of your father" as well.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
Okay, do we think that the Riddler knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne?
I think it's possible. Yeah,
certainly possible.
And because if he's insinuating that Thomas Wayne and the Waynes had something to do with something. Corruption, right?
Which again would be a great dynamic for the film.
Yeah.
I certainly like that. Another crazy one could be that the sins of your father is for Catwoman.
Ooh.
And that her father is Carmine Falcone.
Sure.
Again, a bit of a left field take there, but it certainly could be.
There's definitely a lot of fathers and a lot of sins in there. So it'll be interesting to see.
It is. That's a good point. I haven't thought about that. I mean, it's...
there could be something there.
There could be, and
it's a different take from Christian Bale's Batman and like the Dark Knight, the first like Batman Begins film, whereas Thomas Wayne's portrayed as like this perfect guy, right?
Perfect
Who
father.
gave back and
the father I never had.
the father I never had. Exactly. His parents are like kind of perfect.
Here's a question for you. Again, taking it back to the Riddler, the Riddler's appearance. Now, and I said this to you before the show, I love both a new director and a new cast taking a new spin on a timeless character. That's the point. We've seen a few iterations of Batman now.
Yeah.
A few iterations of the Joker, all of which have been fortunately sensational.
Yeah.
The Riddler, as we know the Riddler, is in that clad green suit, cane, top hat. Now we have a guy with table over his face.
Sure.
Let's imagine that at some point in the film he doesn't don some sort of like question mark paraphernalia, right?
Suede fucking jacket.
Let's imagine that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Will that upset you?
Probably not.
Okay.
To be honest, because I don't think the question mark suit or whatever. I don't know if it fits in this. It could, as long as it's done in a more grounded way.
Okay.
But not quite the Jim Carrey way.
Yeah, I'm not expecting a Jim Carrey, but there's a small part of me that really wants to have some throwback to
the classic,
the origin.
There's a part of you.
There's a part of me that really wants to see this.
You're a part of this as well.
I don't know.
They could work it in. They could work it in like on his like if he was wearing that kind of dark green jacket, raincoat or whatever. That could have
some sort of symbol there.
His
correct.
Hood could be like
Yeah.
Have a little
as long as I see some sort of question mark on one garment of his clothing,
hey,
I will be happy.
I love the question mark in the coffee. That's all I know.
Hey, that was great. I loved it too. Impressive coffee art.
That's great. And the cup was like white, but with a bit of green. It's good. It's all these colors. I like it.
And look, I mean, from what I've read, the inspirations for the film. Well, I mean, Batman related, non-Batman related. Non-Batman related, we have things like Chinatown. Right? Excellent.
Your favorite film.
Sensational. I mean, he's even likened Batman to the Caesar character in War of the Planet of the Apes, funnily enough, which I had a good laugh at.
That's good, yeah. I like that.
Unrelated, or Batman-wise, there's a lot of calls to the 0 Year comic series.
Yeah.
In the New 52, the Scott Snyder series, which I would implore any Batman fanatic to read.
Yeah.
And in that, you see it focuses on an early Batman, not quite the first or second year, and him taking on the Riddler. And it is honestly one of the greatest comic books you'll certainly ever read.
Yeah.
And it ends with this awesome scene of Batman essentially on a chessboard with the Riddler. And again, while this movie is very grounded, I do really want to see
a chessboard.
I do something mildly gimmicky. That in just in a sensible way.
Yeah.
Well, I like a grounded film.
I know what scene you want to see. You want to see the Chamber of Secrets Harry Potter scene when they're playing chess at the end.
I want that.
But it's Batman in the Riddler.
I want something, again, a little quirky as a nice throwback, because the Riddler's a quirky character. You know what I mean? And he's one of Batman's most dangerous villains in that and you always think about this, the Joker challenges Batman's sense of morality.
Yeah.
Bane challenges his body.
Yeah.
And the Riddler challenges his mind.
Yeah.
And that's really what, to use this as the beginning of what is a trilogy, just excites the shit out of me.
Yeah, I know. Where they can take it and stuff.
Where they can take it.
Listen, all I'm hearing is that you want the green suede jacket from Jim Carrey.
All right,
you want a chessboard.
Sue me.
It's getting very Joel Schumacher.
Sorry.
For a man who says he likes new directors, I think you're stuck in the past.
I'm a sucker for the classics.
I like what you're saying. There's definitely a way to bring it in.
To tie it all back. And what we saw with, say, those Joker films, and I think a big driver for DC was, okay, the DCEU bombed. More on that shortly. The Joker was both a critical and commercial success in every possible way. Surely that mantra has influenced this film and the films that will come after it.
Sure.
And that film is very grounded. But it still did they wove in certain elements into the fabric of the film that tied back to, say, the original Joker, the Caesar costume, with the paint, just, references to Bruce Wayne. It existed. And I really, really like that. And I do want to make sure that while this is certainly a fresh and gritty movie, it still is first and foremost a Batman movie.
Yeah.
And with a Batman movie comes certain Batman prerequisites in my mind. Call me old-fashioned. That's just who I am. I just like things that way.
No, I like it. I think, there'll probably be elements of it as well. And you never know. Again, when you think about it, we've seen that first teaser. We've seen this trailer, which is 2 minutes and 30 seconds or whatever. Who knows what else is going to be in this film or where they're going to take it?
All right, so we have to unpack something.
Go on.
The suit.
Oh,
okay,
it's great.
First question.
Yeah.
What's your take? You said it's great, but unpack that for me.
I like it. It's when I first saw it, it gives me the TV show, the Daredevil TV show vibes, because that's kind of like put together and like kind of even the cowl and stuff like that.
Yeah, leather cowl.
The pieces are kind of sewn together or put together, right? So it's got that kind of feel, but it's dark, it's gritty. It makes sense for his year 2 costume as well.
It does,
right? Because it's kind of him putting it together and figuring it out, and going back to this whole thing where he's still trying to figure out this Batman character and what he's actually doing.
Correct.
In reality, he's a guy with mental health issues.
It's true.
Who's fucking put this suit together, right?
Yeah.
And goes out and does unspeakable things.
Yeah.
All good intentions, but he's battling these demons, right? And that suit kind of represents that, that he's just starting out. He's figuring himself out. It's kind of self-therapy for him when he goes out there and does it. The suit's great, I think.
Okay.
I think it works, but it's not I don't think it's a classic Batman suit that I want him to keep forever.
And for me, you've hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah.
I love how sort of like tactile and like, rugged and sort of had just pieced together it is. Again, what you said a moment ago, second year, trying to work it out. He's honing his craft.
True.
In the trailer, it seems to be a lot more durable than I would have thought, given that he took on like not only straight gunfire, but we were talking like machine gun fire. That whole scene of him just walking was insanely badass.
It's bouncing off him.
That was insane. What's the suit made out of? I want to know. I want that.
What is that material? Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah.
And again, I love it for all those reasons. But to your point, it is not a quintessential Batman suit, which is totally fine for this film.
It's okay.
But I would love to see, hopefully, either at the end of this film, or at least an allusion to in the next film, that the suit is going to get a major upgrade.
Yeah.
And that would excite me on so many levels.
True.
Because the opportunity with Batman suits is so wide. I mean, we saw the change in the Nolan films.
Yeah.
Suit 1 was great. Suit 2, sensational. Lightweight, more modular. I mean, obviously the Keaton films sort of maintained one throughout, more or less. Yeah. The third with the Schumer film. I mean, again,
Bat nipples, baby.
Bat nipples, not really. The Clooney films, not going to go there, but iconic, certainly, but ridiculous.
True.
I want to see Batman evolve his suit.
Yeah. Going back to Daredevil season 1 again, for the entire show, almost, he's wearing a fucking bandana over his head or whatever the fuck it is, and he's wearing just dark clothing. And literally, I think it's the last episode of season 1.
He dons the suit, correct.
He dons the suit, right? I hope that's kind of what happens here as well.
I'll throw one your way.
Go on.
That scene where he's in some sort of church and there's an explosion there and he's blown back.
Yeah.
His suit gets
destroyed,
and he has to put
one he can cop fucking 100 bullets in that.
But he can't cop that explosion. Well, I mean, how tough is this suit? I mean, who knows?
What's this really made out of?
I know.
Yeah. Who puts the suit together for him? Is it him or is it Alfred that does it?
I think right now,
and if it is Alfred, does Alfred have some sort of degree in like stitching or something? Is he just like a master? Like,
well, I'll tell you what. I mean, that mask looks like it's leather. So someone shoots him in the face, he's fucked.
Brother, that bullet's gone through that.
You're gone. But I think that's the whole point. I mean, this guy's clearly a little crazy, perhaps a little arrogant.
Yeah.
I mean, you're taking on straight gunfire. The Batman that we know, the more advanced Batman, avoids the physical conflict if he has to. It's more about skulking around. It's more about disarming people and then tying them up. It's not about taking on gunfire from point blank range.
Sure.
He's arrogant.
Yeah.
He's young.
We didn't really, outside
naive.
of the Snyder films, we hadn't really seen like Batman taking on
straight gunfire. No.
Gunfire, right?
No.
Yeah. The Christian Bale ones never really did.
No.
Yeah. Interesting.
And if he did, it was always dodge or run out of the way. Never took a straight bullet. No.
True.
So Yeah, very different take. Not sure what all that means.
Yeah. Going back to Andy Serkis, well, this is the first time we get to see him.
Yep, looks great.
He looks exactly what I thought he would look in this movie.
Yeah.
There was like, for a whole year, there was kind of like fan-made, you know, when they do fan-made photos of like what the cast is going to look
all
like.
too well.
The fan-made photo of Andy Serkis looks exactly
how he looks like.
it looks like in the film.
It's true.
It's great.
I love it.
It's a bit
think, to your question before, who made the suit? I think Bruce did. What you're gathering from me is that Alfred does not approve of what's going on right now. He sees a unstable, careless, angry man with all the resources in the world waging a war on crime. It's probably going to get himself killed. I mean, the man is walking into machine gun fire openly. That's insane.
True.
It's probably a sense of disapproval, but he's certainly obviously helping him because he feels a moral obligation as his guardian and care and only true friend.
True.
At some point, that might diverge where perhaps he's the catalyst to help Bruce realize that this isn't the way. Perhaps Selena is correct, and after that, they become this dream team.
Yeah.
But right now, I think the consensus is that for all those involved, see a very crazy and unstable
young man.
Yeah, they do.
Here's a theory for you.
Throw it my way.
Bruce Wayne, right? His whole like inner pain and everything like that. It's his parents get killed when he's young, right?
Yeah.
The catalyst for that as well is that his parents were great people, and they get killed, and he goes like he wants vengeance for that, and he's angry, and he's got a lot of issues and things like that. In this movie, if they do go down this route of you're a part of this, and that let's say his dad or his parents was somehow corrupt or did something that was really fucked up, does that have an impact on his grief, I guess, of losing them and his reasoning for becoming Batman as well? If he's like, I'm trying to get revenge for my parents because they were great people, but what if they weren't great people?
Well, I mean, that would be challenging, and it'd be a great avenue to sort of guide things down.
Yeah.
That could have either one or two effects. One, it makes him more loopy and more aggressive.
Sure.
Or it makes him realize that it's Gotham that's evil.
Yeah.
His parents perhaps aided to that evil, and that him going on this war, this blood war to get even, isn't the right way.
Yeah, but it's necessary.
Well, necessary to some capacity. Again, it's an interesting dynamic. The Riddler seems like he's young too, perhaps similar age as Batman. So something close to that? So how's that sort of woven in? I don't know.
Like cousins or something.
See, that would be shit.
Yeah, I don't want any kind of
no fucking family like Inspector when Christoph Waltz's character, like some relation to Daniel Craig.
Yeah,
spare me, dude. No, that was garbage. No offense.
As long as they don't do something like that, probably good. Yeah, they should definitely stay away from that.
Thoughts on the car?
The car's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still very early days.
And it's cool. No, it's cool.
Yeah. It's more realistic. I feel like it's even more realistic than the Nolan films of like what you could put together.
The Tumbler.
Yeah.
The Tumbler's probably more realistic.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
It's like more of an army tank.
Yeah.
Tumbler was huge though. It's fucked up.
The Tumbler was the Tumbler is something that if I saw that in unfortunately some war-torn country, I'd be like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen this Batman's, hotted up Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. You know what I mean? Like it's a very different machine.
It is.
I mean, both.
You know what I mean? Like it's just a car, I guess.
It is.
And
to that point,
modified. Yeah.
Correct. It's like if you had the skills and the know-how. Yeah. You can maybe put something of this together.
Because he's also a mechanic, right?
Or he can do everything.
Or he's an Alfred again.
Maybe Alfred's the mechanic.
Yeah, maybe.
Potentially.
Look,
I do like the car.
I do like it.
It's cool. Again, it's in that whole sort of grounded, visceral sort of universe. Sure. It's in your face. Yeah. That last scene is awesome.
It's great.
You and I chat before the show started about the score.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
It's great.
And I was saying to you, it reminds me of two things.
Yeah.
One, Batman, the animated series, which I absolutely loved as a child.
Yeah.
And two, the Darth Vader soundtrack. The score.
It does sound like the Darth Vader.
And when you play it again, I mean, if you have the chance, we'll loop this through later and play it. But it sounds like very much a mash of both of those things. And it's fucking fantastic.
Since you said the Darth Vader thing, I can't get it over my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have similar, Batman, Darth Vader, dark brooding characters, dark parts.
Coming after you.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean,
The red lighting as well. It's all very
there is a bit of Vader.
Vader energy in there.
There's a lot of Vader.
Correct. Both wear a mask.
Right. It's they're also kind of remixed it, put it in with this Nirvana song. That's like kind of become a part of it as well somehow now as well, and it sounds
A part
like,
of it.
a part of this. Kurt, you're a part of this. Yeah, I like it. It sounds very good.
It is fantastic.
Yeah, I have a tradition of I play a bit of the piano and a bit of the keyboard, and every
Yes.
time I've gotten into it because I wanted to play the Batman soundtrack on the keyboard, and then when they released the Ben Affleck version as well, and they released that song, that theme, Batman theme, then I tried learning that theme on the piano. So I'm gonna have to do it with this one as well, and I'm very excited. So I'll play it for you one day. But that's a
Please.
side story.
Here's a quick one for you. So when the film was coming out,
Yeah.
one of the big points against Pattinson was that he's too thin.
Right. Not big enough.
Now, I think you and I had this chat a couple of times when I've also heard the news. And
Yeah.
again, you and I have been pro Pattinson from day dot.
They don't.
Believed in his talent.
We've had
Believe
his
in his
back.
talent. The man's a sensational actor.
He is great.
Still isn't the bulkiest guy in the room.
No.
And in all his previous films, and even this film, he doesn't look, well, up until today, didn't look like he was in great shape. There was a
No.
situation during lockdown last year where
Yeah.
he posted that video saying that Warner Brothers had sent him a Bosu ball to work on, but he can't be fucked doing it. And it's like, hey man,
Yeah.
you're getting paid millions of dollars. You're
Do
gonna
your
be
fucking
Batman.
job, dude.
Just do some pull-ups.
Yeah.
There's that one scene where he's putting his shirt on in the trailer where he looks a little
Yeah.
larger, a little more in shape.
Yeah.
So I want to say, Rob, I'm sorry. You look good.
It's not
You
great.
could look better, but you look good.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
think
important.
at the end of the day, I think it just matters how he pulls it off as Batman in the suit. And the suit gives him a bit of bulk, I think.
It does.
And he still kicks ass like in those scenes, right?
He definitely does. Got
It's
a lot
like-
of
you know, like
John
watching-
Wick energy.
Yeah.
I believe they have the same fight choreographer.
Oh, did that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, great.
Who did that?
That choreography is very hot right now.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Jonathan
It does look
Eusebio,
good, though.
I believe.
It's the choreographer.
Yeah, I believe so.
Nice. Pulls it off.
Certainly does.
Pulls it off.
In,
It's the John Wick Batman.
for sure. Nice.
I like it. Nah, I think he does. He looks good. I don't think, again, it's his second year. Give him some time. He'll bulk up.
Yeah.
He'll,
Spending more time on gadgets and cars and the
exactly.
gym.
Yeah.
for
Hit the
sure.
gym, buddy. Again, we've established he's got a lot of mental health problems. This man's trying to figure it out. Doesn't have a lot of time for the gym. He'll get there. He'll
Sure.
get there definitely. Yeah, I think the trailer's fucking great. It's gonna come out March 4th.
March 4th next year. Pencil into your calendar.
Exactly. Fingers crossed the fucking cinemas are open.
There's
Because
no.
if they're not, God damn.
Oh, I'll be devastated.
Yeah,
It's certainly an IMAX affair that night.
Look, as long as they don't postpone it again, as long as it's released,
Well, there's talks of a long run time.
they're saying 3 hours.
Good.
Yeah,
I want every second.
I know. And even that, like, that's such a long film, right? And like I said, we've only seen like 3-4 minutes.
Okay. On that notion of 3 hours,
Yeah.
and on that notion of how excited we are.
You're not getting the chess game, all right?
Damn it. Obviously, this is a new Batman and a new Batman universe.
Yeah.
And this is taking place because the previous one sort of bombed.
Yeah, that's right.
What's DC doing? Is
Right now.
the Snyderverse dead? Is that dead and gone now?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's they're still pumping out films, right? So even like at DC Fandom,
Aquaman 2.
you're getting Aquaman 2,
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint. Let's talk about Flashpoint.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah, sure.
Did you like the new trailer they released?
Yes. The suit was great.
Suit looks great.
Suit reminded me of Injustice kind of
Yes,
suit, which
it
I
does.
was all about.
It does. The footage they released so far, it's quite emotional.
Yeah, I like it.
He travels back in time. He
Save
wants
his
to
mother.
Save his mother. It looks like things, shift, just like the Flashpoint.
Yeah.
It looks like he's also gathered another version of himself, right? Because the three, like, it was like the main Flash behind him was himself as well, but with longer hair. and there was a female version as well. Something
Not
like
sure.
that. Yeah, and they end up at Michael Keaton's house,
The manor.
yeah, at the manor. And he makes a small appearance, right? But it's not really his face; it's just from behind or whatever. And it was cool. I like that.
Oh, it's very
it's
cool.
early footage though. It's very early.
I thought it was great. I mean, that's certainly exciting.
Yeah.
Aquaman 2. Aquaman 1, I think, is really underrated.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like it.
The cinematography is amazing.
Yeah, James
The
Wan.
James Wan.
Yeah.
That scene when they're in the trench
Yeah,
and it's like, that dark water and those red,
yeah,
like glowing red sea monsters come out of it.
Yeah.
It is a sensational scene to
Yeah.
look at.
it's cool.
The film is almost too large for what is an entry film, but it was
Yeah,
bloody,
yeah.
I thought it was bloody brilliant. Keen to see what James Wan does again.
Yeah,
I mean, Black Manta is reprising his role as the villain. He's played
Yeah.
by
Yahya Abdul-Mateen,
yes,
the second.
who is also going to be
Morpheus. Great.
He's shit hot right now.
He's so hot right now. He
Well,
is
yeah.
so hot.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Obviously, we saw a glimpse of Black Adam.
We did. What
Which
did you
is
think of that
exci-
footage?
I thought it was cool. And look,
Well, they're putting in like all these other characters in that film, which is interesting. That's
is.
probably the more interesting part.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I thought this Shazam
Fury of the Gods
looks
Awful.
awful.
It doesn't look good. Yeah.
The first film was shit. The second
Yeah.
film's going to be worse. I love Helen Mirren. I love Lucy Liu.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a film.
That one's very campy.
It's a film for children.
It is. Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But how does
I'm not gonna
that-
see it.
How does that mix well with this Black Adam film, which seems to be more dark and gritty? And Black Adam and Dwayne Johnson's supposed to be this fucking powerful.
I don't know. Well, there was talk of Black Adam being the next villain in Superman 2, which I don't know if we'll ever get, which is just...
Yeah.
I mean, that hurts my feelings. A Man of Steel 2,
That's what we deserve.
that's what we deserve.
I know.
Bring Henry just back. I mean,
I know.
his career blew up after that.
We need more Superman films.
We need more Superman films.
We do.
And people can nitpick apart
Yeah. It's a shame we only got one.
Man of Steel and BVS,
Yeah.
both of which I still really enjoy
Yeah.
to this day.
Ditto that, brother. Ditto
You know what I
that.
mean?
I
It's-
liked him as well.
So
Yeah.
for me, Batman vs Superman is criminally underrated.
Yeah.
I don't know what everyone was expecting.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
it's
can
too
still-
it's too light. It's not. It's too dark. There's no
Yeah.
light. Sure, the Martha thing that was shit.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Lex
sure, it's a
Luthor
pivotal
wasn't
moment.
great, maybe.
It's like he wasn't great for how I imagine Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
but it's
this version,
different.
yeah.
And different, as we discussed,
Yeah.
is okay.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck again did a really good job.
He did.
The bat suit was awesome.
It was.
The fight scene, that scene in the warehouse, is one of the is probably Batman's best ever
Yeah,
fight
yeah.
scene on any medium.
Yeah, true. It's
It
great.
was unbelievable.
Yeah. That fight scene's great. You can watch that on repeat and it's amazing.
Wonder Woman's
Yeah.
entrance. I mean, how shit was Wonder Woman 2?
I know.
Sorry, Patty Jenkins.
I
Wonder
know.
Woman 1 was
It
fantastic.
was great. Second one, not
Her intro in
garbage.
Batman vs Superman,
I know.
phenomenal.
I know.
That hurts my feelings. Gal Gadot, you're amazing. Amazing Wonder Woman. Massive source of inspiration. I'm
Yeah.
loving that, she has a universe. But
Yeah.
that second film, just all flash
Just
and zero
fucking-
substance. Yeah.
Went down.
It did.
Went down real quick.
And like I would have thought, it's the 80s. It's
I know.
exciting.
The
And like,
trailer sold it.
it did. It was, it was certainly still bright
Yeah.
and out there, but it was just cheesy and
I
comical.
know. Made no
Killed
fucking
me.
sense. Well, that's the problem, right? That's why I don't know what DC's doing right now, because you have these movies, right? We'll talk about Man of Steel. BVS is pretty good. Justice League, they fucked up.
Oh,
They
it's
brought
bad.
back, and I thought the Schneider cut of it was much better.
Certainly better.
Certainly better. And then you get these other bits and pieces. Aquaman, yeah, it's good. One of them the first one's good. Second one's fucking garbage. You just don't know where this they're making these films all kind of trying to come together and link up.
Suicide Squad 1 was
Suicide Squad
awful.
1, yeah, exactly. Oh, apparently they're getting apparently they're gonna get like an Ayer cut, a David Ayer cut,
Really?
because that movie was chopped up quite a bit.
That
by
movie,
the studios.
you could just tell, and like what?
Yeah,
I mean, you and I have touched on this before. The DC universe struggled and suffered for a couple of reasons in my mind.
Yeah.
One, I mean, the driving force was the Marvel Universe and the success they were having.
Yeah.
Sure.
Exactly.
They then took that on during the peak of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah. Let's fucking make it happen.
So for the studio, speed is important.
Yeah.
Speed is dangerous because you spend more time, you spend less time trying to get an outcome rather than more time trying to get the right outcome.
Yeah.
And while Man of Steel I thought was still really, really good, I thought Batman vs Superman was great, just got smashed by the critics, I think, unfairly.
Yeah.
A film like
Extended cut is better.
It is. Yeah. But the fact that that was allowed, I mean, obviously the situation happened with the Snyder family. Again, we are very sorry about that. The Whedon cut was just awful. Despicable. And it almost felt like the Suicide Squad, when you just said as well, they carved that film into pieces to make it PG almost overnight to accommodate a larger audience rather than stick to their guns. And here's the irony of that situation. After realizing that the universe was bombed before it really began, they released a film like The Joker, which was R-rated and violent and gory, and it made them billions of dollars. So
Joaquin a fucking Oscar.
And you can apply this to almost anything in life. You do what you know well. Don't try to do something else. Don't try to be something else.
Be who you really are.
Be who you really are.
I
don't know if it's. I don't believe it's DC's fault. I believe it's the influence of Warner Brothers that caused the DCU to crash and burn. In my mind, give the people the prequels and whatnot. But this sort of like coming together again in this Marvel-esque fashion, I don't see happening. And truth be told, I don't think I want it to.
Yeah,
I think it's done.
I think we've gotten to that point where now, like, I don't really care. Like,
I don't.
If they're gonna like bring them all together and do Justice League.
There's no hype. There's no linkage between them.
Because we've kind of seen it happen and fail and like kind of, and now you're just like, okay, well, they're still focusing on these like solo films, which like, all right, the new Flash film,
cool.
And that's his first solo film, right? It looks kind of cool. And these sequels to these individual heroes as well. Yeah, it's cool. But where's it all going? Like, how many like Aquaman films do you make? Or how many Wonder Woman films do you make?
Well, usually things come in threes.
And then what?
That's it.
And then what's the goal with this Batman film? It looks great. We're excited about it. We love what they're doing with it. It's a standalone thing. What do you get out of it? You get sequels.
You get a Batman trilogy, and I mean, let's go back the past 3 decades.
Yeah,
we've always had a Batman, and there's been a Batman trilogy.
Yeah,
that's because society just wants a Batman, and society wants a Batman movie.
We love Batman.
He's certainly my favorite superhero. I think he might be yours as well.
Yes,
he is for the most. The movies are always entertaining.
Yeah,
they're always relatable. I mean, it doesn't really matter who you are, whether you're a comic book buff or not. People enjoy Batman films.
Yeah.
So it's in the vested interest of Warner Brothers to keep producing them, whether it's part of some sort of universe or not.
Yeah, true.
I don't care if they don't release any of those other films. As long as I get 3 films from Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves, I don't care.
I'm happy. And then we can start again or do whatever.
And then we can start again. Yeah. And that's totally fine. People have short memories.
They do.
Things move by quickly.
It's true.
So you fast forward 10 years and they try to reboot it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Well, this whole Flash film is also supposed to maybe set new timelines. Because he travels.
That's a punt from fucking Warner Brothers, isn't it? Oh, hey, we fucked up royally. Let's make a film that reboots everything so I can right my wrongs. But will you?
Yeah. Take a page out of the X-Men Days of Future Past book. And do that as well.
Well, clearly they've learned something. I mean, the latest Suicide Squad, MA, R rating.
It was much better than the first part.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
I think the first one was better casted.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Again,
learned a lesson.
They learned their lesson. You just do. DC is not Marvel.
Yeah, and it needs to stop trying to be. I think
exactly right. Again, if for Warner Brothers it's all about the bottom line, and for the fans it's all about an enjoyable film.
Yeah,
you can meet clearly with the success of The Joker and Suicide Squad. You can get both.
Yeah, true. You can.
You absolutely can.
You just got to figure it out. They gotta decide. I think if they're gonna like just steer away from this whole Justice League and try to include each other in the films and stuff like that. A little like, sneak peeks. Oh, here's fucking Superman in the Shazam film or whatever. Like, whatever the thing is.
That was the cheapest shit ever, by the way. It's like, we're not actually going to show his face because that wasn't Henry Cavill.
Exactly.
Like, what a slap in the face that is.
I know.
That's pathetic.
It's shit.
Oh, it was garbage.
It's shit.
So, yeah.
I don't think people want it. I don't think they want, I think people want this Snyder Justice League Part 2 thing with the apocalypse stuff. People are actually kind of excited to see that.
That's cool because it's got a cult following, and Darkseid looked sick. But again,
do you do that?
it's a cult following film.
Thing, yeah.
I feel like I'm just making a movie for the sake of making, like, it's not a universe anymore. I don't know. I'm contradicting myself. Sure, I'd be happy if Henry Cavill does Superman 2. Because I love Henry Cavill. I think he was born to play Superman. Sure. I love the way he does it.
Yeah.
Cool. For a Superman trilogy, even if it had no relation to other films,
that would be good.
I don't care because
I'd like that.
Henry Cavill's awesome and Superman needs more love.
Yeah, I'd like that.
As far as the universe is concerned, again, I don't really give a shit. Like,
I think they should connect it if it makes sense to connect it at some point.
But do people have superhero hangover?
Yeah, I think they do.
I mean, we've seen so many superhero films in the past 13 years.
Especially things like
teaming up. It's
connecting and setting up more films.
I feel an obligation to go see that film, which again is not necessarily a bad thing, but I don't have to watch certain films I think are really sort of shitty, but I do it just because of the connecting tissue.
The lore,
to the other films. Like,
sure.
I'm happy for things to go back to the way they are a little bit.
Yeah.
Marvel, hats off. And guess what? Spider-Man 3 cannot wait for. Cannot wait for.
Now that's how you do it.
That's sensational. But
true.
This, new Batman, new gritty take, young actors, making it their own, that excites the shit out of me.
It's good, yeah. You really got to separate it from the rest of it.
You do, and let it flourish. The film will make an incredible amount of money.
It will.
So Warner Brothers will be happy.
People want more. Yeah. You don't need to connect it to anything.
No.
Yeah.
Batman has enough clout amongst, the neutral passive fans and the hyper fans that people will go see the film.
It's true. I think, I like what you said about Man of Steel. I think he deserves his own kind of part 2 and maybe like a part 3.
Henry Cavill's the man.
That would be great. But I don't know. I feel like they still fucked up the Lex Luthor part thing. And they could have that could have been a better actor and a different type of Lex Luthor, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I like...
Here we go. Flash goes back in time, changes the timeline, and there's this new Superman timeline, and Lex Luthor is someone else.
Written and directed by Sin Jurich. From
starring Sin Jurich.
As Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I'll show my head right now in front of you on camera for the role. I don't know.
Let's make it happen, Warner Brothers.
Let's do it. Call me. Call my agent. My mom. I don't know. I would like to see that. But look, there's so many storylines you can do with Superman as well. It doesn't have to be Lex Luthor.
No.
I feel like it is ruined for me a little bit.
Brainiac?
But Brainiac would be great.
Brainiac would be awesome.
Yeah.
There is the Black Adam part. There is, obviously, look, Darkseid looked great. And his voice sounded like thunder when he was speaking. And that was just awesome. Reminded me a lot of like Kratos sort of vibe from God of War. Very similar.
You like your God of War, don't you?
I absolutely do. I'm hanging for them to make a God of War film, but we won't touch into that now. God. Eventually. Snyder would nail that, by the way.
Yeah. It'd be perfect for that.
He would be.
Would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. People just hate on the Snyder as well, dude. They don't like him. They don't like his style.
Watchmen was great. 300 was great.
Yeah.
I don't care what people think.
He does action. Does action well.
He does. Yeah. He certainly does.
Maybe a bit of too much CGI in the films. I don't know.
Oh, okay. If there's one thing that he overkills, which pisses me off, it is the fucking slow-mo stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People didn't like that.
I'll say this now, and I'll say this to any director ever looking to use slow-mo. Use it tastefully, because...
Don't do it.
The whole point of slow motion is to show off how fast someone is moving, typically.
Yeah.
Right? Well, if I don't see them move fast, it's not impressive. But when I see Wonder Woman dodging bullets really quickly, that looks great. But as soon as I see this sort of like slow hand to block one,
With the
I'm like,
song. The back.
fuck off.
Yeah.
Show me her moving fast. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really, really, really cool.
Sure.
And I think it was like 10% of the Snyder Cut was fucking
Yeah.
slow motion.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
He fucking loves it.
That's ridiculous. That's just silliness in my mind.
Yeah.
And it kills the whole like mystique and like
Yeah.
excitement of someone doing something superhuman.
Yeah, true. I know.
Yeah, that irks me.
Yeah. There's,
I
it's
bet
not going to please everyone.
there better be very little slow mo in this Batman
In
film.
this Batman- Oh, Matt Reeves hates slow motion.
He fucking better. Okay.
Yeah, Batman.
There was one
loves-
glimpse of it, obviously, when the car comes to the flame, but that I can live with
That's-
that.
yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
it.
Again, it's tasteful.
That is the only slow motion.
Correct. And the Nolan films, I can think of one time where it happened where Batman, like in part 3, shoots that guy's the EMP gun and then just walks.
Yeah, that's good.
And then that's
Great.
tasteful.
Right. Do you see Nolan ever coming back to do anything with
No.
Batman or DC? Ever?
No.
No?
No. I think he's done what? I mean, there was an opportunity to do a part 4. I think it was potential on the cards.
Wasn't really for him.
He said, no, why do it? Why poison something good? That was great.
Yeah.
Leave it be. I mean, look, he could do... Okay, let's play a game.
Thanks, Jigsaw.
Nice. Oh, great. If Christopher Nolan had to do another superhero film for Marvel or DC, who and what, and why?
Interesting. The character has to be someone that fits Nolan's style. Don't know who that would be.
It's very grand.
He could definitely do like an Iron Man 10 years from now.
Potentially.
He could pull that off really well in a different way.
Yeah, potentially.
Again, it's grounded. I feel like grounded really works well for him.
Yeah.
I don't see Nolan like doing Guardians of the Galaxy.
No,
You know what I
certainly
mean?
not.
That's
But it's funny when we say grounded, but Iron Man is like... The whole concept of Iron Man is
It's ridiculous.
superhuman. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's
sure,
not
he's just a
technology,
man.
Though. Like it's
It is, but
super high tech and
to the scale that Iron Man needs to be cool.
yeah.
Again,
I mean, there's not a there's
again,
a lot
it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
super grounded per se.
Sure.
I mean, if I was to redo Iron Man, I would go on the whole alcoholic train a little bit more. They obviously touch on it in part 2, but that forms a big part of
Sure.
his issue in the comic books.
Yeah.
Nolan, I think, could do... I mean, he could do Spider-Man, but he won't.
Yeah.
He could do Captain America.
Sure. He
Which would be
does like
rather
his war
cool.
films.
He does love war films. Again, he's very
So-
much a man with the combat. I think he could
Yeah.
do that
Sure.
really sensible. Even Man of Steel, to be honest with you.
He could have done something.
He could have done a great job with
Super
Man of
great
Steel.
job.
I think part of him would have loved to have done it as
Robert
well.
Pattinson and Superman. It works, I
Oh,
think.
Let's say, I can tell you now,
Yeah.
Henry Cavill is busting to work with Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. Oh, he would, love that.
That'd be a great...
Who knows? He might get cast in this new Oppenheimer film.
Oh, well, Killian's in there.
Yeah, Killian's there.
Very excited about that.
You never know who else can be cast. We do know that Michael Caine's definitely going to be in it. No, I don't know. I don't think that's been confirmed.
He
but-
retired.
Did he?
Mark Caine.
Oh, is he done?
Sorry to tell you this on live air, but
Oh.
he's done, dude.
I start crying.
Man, he retired
Really?
this week, yeah.
Oh, this week?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, dude.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, it's tragic.
He's old.
He's 88.
He is very old.
And fuck, he's good.
Fuck, he's
He's amazing for his age.
Jeez. Well, yeah, good for him.
I know. Very much good for him.
Good for him. That's great.
Okay. So,
Well, answer this for me.
sure.
DC films right now and where they're
Yes.
going. What does it look like? Let's say, I don't know if 5 years is long enough because it takes ages for these films to come out. What does it look like 10 years from now? Where are we at? What did we get by then?
That's the $1 million question. You'll get 3 Batman films.
3 Batman films? What
Yeah.
about the rest of them?
Man, I don't know.
Wonder Woman crashes and burns,
Wonder Woman does the 3rd film.
dies.
I don't know if it's going to be good. It might
Aquaman
be.
probably gets 2 more, like the second part and the third one.
Yeah. Yes,
Flash.
I believe so.
I don't know, this Flash film could be really good.
It could be.
And
Bold choice doing the Flashpoint Paradox, the first film.
it is a bold choice, yeah.
And now, in my
It's
mind,
like doing Batman vs Superman in the as the second film.
correct. And you
They're
don't know
known for
why
these
they're doing it?
choices.
In my mind, it's because they're worried that the Flash is not interesting enough from an origin story standpoint.
Just as a dude. We've
So-
kind of gotten that bit of that origin story in the Justice League film, bro.
You did a little bit, not much. I
Not
mean, we
much.
didn't see him become the
Yeah.
Flash and get his powers.
Sure.
But I think they're worried about the fact, again, if
Yeah.
they do a Flashpoint film,
Yeah.
they can bring in Batman.
Yeah.
They can bring in Michael Keaton.
They need more. They need
and
more.
that gives them more, both from a marketing standpoint as well, right? Yeah. From a marketing standpoint,
Yeah.
from, a narrative standpoint, having Batman and Michael Keaton in there is cool.
Yeah, it is.
So they win in that way.
Yeah, true.
It's
It's a shame that they need that support, that assistance from another big hero.
well, but and here's the issue with DC.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman,
Yeah.
and you know what? Aquaman now, they're all cool.
Yeah.
The rest of them, I mean, I like the Green Lantern, but they're not that. The rest of them are pretty shitty. Sorry, comparatively.
Oh, shit.
Amazing villains.
Yeah.
Not all
true.
great. Marvel have so many good superheroes.
Yeah, true.
And
DC
have
has
done-
like 6 or 7 amazing superheroes,
Yeah,
and then it's kind of like
the dregs, not even less. Marvel has so many excellent superheroes who can
Yeah.
stand up on their own film.
yeah,
I mean, Spider-Man wasn't in the first, 12 films?
yeah, true.
Spider-Man's the Marvel
yeah,
universe.
the
Do you know what I
biggest
mean?
Marvel, yeah,
And they didn't even, they locked and loaded that
true.
like 10 years later.
I know. They just got it down pat. They know what they're doing.
Clever planning.
Yeah.
Again, that would have been in the works for quite a while. And
Kevin
the films
fucking
didn't,
Feige.
it wasn't, the vision wasn't fundamentally clear until you got Avengers. Because all these films, bit part films, you're like, oh, yeah, these are good. Like, I saw Thor. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, I saw Iron Man was great. Iron Man 2 came out.
Yeah.
Then you watch Avengers and you're like, okay,
Yeah, all right.
this is building something. And then you got Guardians of the Galaxy, which again was so brilliant and so fun and so
New era.
quirky. And you're like, hold on. You start drawing these like intergalactic parallels
Yeah.
between these films. Suddenly the vision became a lot more exciting.
Huge.
You saw Thanos and all that sort of shit. You're like, okay, this is really
Exactly.
building towards something.
Yeah.
And the excitement just went tenfold. And then, suddenly RDJ is getting paid $80 million to appear in fucking Spider-Man Homecoming. Like,
It's fucked.
it's insane. So hats off, still going, good on them.
It's hard. It's still hard to compare the two, like DC and Marvel. And
They're
stuff.
not even
It's-
comparable.
Yeah, they really DC really failed.
They did.
They really failed, and they need to just let it go. I think.
They
I think that's where I'm like, getting to. I think that's what they just need to like stop trying to build this world. I think.
just stick to what you know.
Stick to what you
Which is
know.
making sick Batman movies, and people just fucking
And
love
just make
them.
these cool individual films. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Make a cool Flash film, and make another after if it's good.
Yeah.
You don't need to bring fucking everyone into it. And
No.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Give the people what they want character-wise.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's what they need to do.
It's a hard one. All right, well, look, let's bring it back to the Batman before we close things up, right?
All right. Final thoughts on the Batman, the trailer, and how excited are you for this movie?
Great trailer, great cast, very excited. Have very few doubts,
Yeah.
but with anything, when a character is very close to your heart,
Yeah. You're hopeful.
you're hopeful,
Yeah.
but I'm also always going to be a little cautious.
You just never know.
You never know. We've been tricked into thinking that previous films, and
Yeah.
this goes for any film,
Yeah. Trailers
They
really
tackle
sell it these days.
trailers do sell a story, and
Mm.
it can look sensational, and once you unpack it, you walk out
Yeah.
of the cinema 2.5, 3 hours later, and you think,
Fuck.
yeah, that hurt. So be ever the optimist.
Yeah.
I think Rob's going to kill it. Matt Reeves clearly gives a shit about the source material. Zoe Kravitz both looks and sounds sensational. We love the villains. We love the story. It's a new universe. And I speak for everyone when I say that I hope that it just breeds us
Yeah.
at least 2 more
Two
films.
more. At least one. At least two.
At least 2 more films of what is, always an ever exciting
Yeah.
and ever popular series. So, yeah,
100%.
I'm pumped.
I couldn't agree more. I think it's gonna fucking kill. I'm very optimistic, but you never know. Like I said, I lived with that, Batman vs Superman, or even like Justice League trailer for so long, right? Because you get these trailers, you live with it for a whole year, playing this story out in your head, and you get it, and then you're like,
The first that first Batman vs Superman trailer What was the line? Was it, "Can you bleed?
Yeah,
You will." And he jumps, and then Superman comes down.
You're like, this is going to be the greatest film ever made.
I remember watching that. So I had my wisdom teeth out the weekend that came out.
Good memory.
And I sat in bed with a chipmunked face, just watching it on YouTube, rewinding it back again and again and again and again. And then it came out, and again, I loved it. But everyone fucking hated it. And I imagine there was more people out there like me, not necessarily with wisdom teeth missing, but who recorded and watched that trailer so many times for it to bomb. Then the Justice League, I'm like, this looks dark and gritty. Maybe it's gonna be great. And it was the worst film I've ever seen.
Exactly.
I've never been so disappointed in the cinema in my 28 years.
So you just don't know.
You don't know.
But we're positive and we're hopeful.
Correct. Go. You should give every movie a chance. Or else why bother going to see it?
Like you gave my uncle a chance.
Nice.
You should. You really should.
You should.
I think the trailers gave us enough. We've been with it for a little while now. We know kind of who's working on it. The actors. We believe in Robbie.
We do.
I think it's going to be great.
Yep.
I have a good feeling about it.
And again, if it is going to be 2.5, 3 hours, well, all I'm hearing is just good news.
Great.
Give me more as opposed to giving me less.
Exactly. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I think people these days are also happy with that, and they're okay with that.
Definitely. Well, you're seeing, with what I'm excited about as well is the cinematic experience. This is a film that I need to see in the cinema. Yeah. Obviously. I spent too long, much like you,
locked in my room,
streaming it.
Yeah.
And look, it's something we're exploring a podcast one day about the whole streaming versus cinema experience.
Great.
But
it's going to be great, I think.
Yeah, with No Time to Die just about to come out now for the rest of us, and June just around the corner as well, which I know you're very pumped about.
So pumped.
I'm looking forward to seeing Hollywood release some of these big heavy hitter films and get people back into cinemas. And like I say to anybody now, please go support your local cinema as well. Go enjoy it, because if a movie is it is not just the film itself. No. It's the experience you get when you're there. Yeah, so
100%.
I think this will be the perfect marriage for that.
I can't wait, dude. March 4th.
Pencil in.
Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson.
IMAX.
We'll be there.
Double popcorns.
Can't wait, man. It's going to be great.
Thanks for that.
Thanks for coming along. Yeah.
Pleasure.
Great chatting DC, and DC, stop fucking it up, okay? Just do a better job, all right? And I hope the Batman does great, and
for sure,
helps fix things.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.